Gita Jayanti is also about to come very soon. So I thought whenever I will get opportunity to give class, I will speak on Bhagavad Gita. So last time we started discussing Bhagavad Gita and we were discussing from verse number 1 to verse number 8. And then I thought maybe now we will carry on forward. And we are not just simply discussing, we are getting into like very deep philosophy, deep concepts of Bhagavad Gita using Srila Prabhupada's purports, but along with that, we are taking help of purport of other acharyas also, other Vaishnava acharyas also, like Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, Baldev Vidyabhushan, and other devotees also. So, let us start. So, before the current words that we are going to discuss just now, we were discussing how the trust asked Sanjaya what my sons and the sons of Pandu they are doing, what my sons and sons of Pandu are doing. That means he is showing a bhed buddhi, that means he is showing a discrimination, although he should be equi, equivocal, not equivocal, what is the word? Equanimous towards both the parties, his sons and Kauravas and Pandavas, because he was guardian of Pandavas also, but he chose to use the word what is my sons and Pandavas are doing. So that shows his mentality that he was spiritually blind, not just materially blind. So now, okay, from then onwards, then Sanjaya described how he should not lose hope and he should not hope that he should not expect Duryodhan to leave the idea of fighting because the place is very uh, pious place, it's Dharma Kshetra. So influence because of that influence, Duryodhan will not leave the idea of fighting and for sort of giving that idea, he started describing how Duryodhana went to his side to Dronacharya to describe what is the who is there in Pandava's army, and then he started because too much glorifying Pandava's army would lead to demotivation of his own men. That's why then he stopped glorifying Pandava's army after 2 3 verses, and then he started describing the strength of his army. So we were on that verse where he's saying that in my army there are personalities like you, Bhishma, Karna, Kripacharya, Ashwatthama, Vikarna, these kind of personalities are there. So before we start discussing the next verse, which is ninth verse, you can take out your phones or hard copy, soft copy, whatever, so that you can also read along with me and like that. So first chapter, ninth verse. So the shloka goes like this, ninth verse. Yes, it is displayed on the screen also. अन्ये च बहवः शूरा मदर्थे त्यक्तजीविता नानाशस्त्रप्रहरणा सर्वे युद्धविशारदा. There are many other heroes who are prepared to lay down their lives for my sake. All of them are well equipped with different kinds of weapons and all are experienced in military science. So now the Duryodhan, what he is doing? What he is doing? He is describing the strength of his army. So he is saying there are many other heroes who are prepared to lay down their lives. So here, uh, Srila Prabhupada says that there are other warriors also like Jayadratha, Kritvarma, Shalya. They are determined to lay down their lives for Duryodhana's sake. So Srila Prabhupada explains in his purport how Duryodhana himself is already predicting beforehand that they will be going to die. They will be going to die by saying that they will lay down their lives for my sake. So Duryodhana is already predicting it. It is maybe Saraswati is acting through his tongue that is giving a prediction or forecast that is giving that they will be going to die. So and in later on verses also, in subsequent verses also, we'll see how this play of words is there, where he will use He will use one word for describing a situation, but acharyas they interpret that word in some other sense and they will decode it how actually Mother Saraswati is trying to say something else to his words. So this only acharyas can explain us. If we try to learn it ourselves, we will not be able to find the hidden meaning behind these verses. So now we will come to the next verse, 1.10, Bhagavad Gita. अपर्याप्तं तदस्माकं बलं भीष्माभिरक्षितं पर्याप्तं विद वे तेषां बलं भीमाभिरक्षितम्. Can any of you online participants read this translation? This is very technical words now. 1.10. We will study this verse. Yes, anyone of you can. Satyam. Okay, Satyam.
Yes, Hare Krishna. Our strength is immeasurable, and we are perfectly protected by Grandfather Bhishma, whereas the strength of the Pandavas, carefully protected by Bhishma, is limited.
No, it's limited. You can also open verse so that you can follow. Verse number 1.10. Okay. So now Krishna is saying, sorry, not Krishna, but Duryodhana is saying that our strength is immeasurable. Aparyaptam. Sanskrit word is aparyaptam. And we are perfectly protected by grandfather Bhishma. Whereas the strength of Pandavas carefully protected by Bhima is limited. And limited word, the Sanskrit term used there is paryaptam. Paryaptam. So, aparyaptam means immeasurable. Paryaptam is translated as limited. Now, if you see the another Sanskrit meaning of these words, aparyaptam. What is the another Sanskrit meaning of the word aparyaptam? Aparyaptam means not sufficient. ठीक है ना? Do you have पर्याप्त मात्रा में आपके पास है नहीं अपर्याप्त है not sufficient. So this is also another meaning of this Sanskrit word. And paryaptam means what? Here the word meaning is limited, but another meaning in Sanskrit paryaptam sufficient. पर्याप्तम मीन्स सफिशिएंट पर्याप्त मात्रा में आपके पास पानी है पर्याप्त मात्रा में भोजन है दैट मीन्स सफिशिएंट so we go with the another meaning of these words aparyaptam and paryaptam then the meaning of the whole words will change then the words will mean like this our strength is insufficient our strength is insufficient and Pandava's strength is sufficient. Duryodhana is trying to say one thing, but through Sanskrit meaning we can derive another meaning also. Like that. We ourselves cannot derive. Acharyas can explain like this. So, maybe this title was not Paryaptam. Okay. Okay, like this. So this is how there in verses of Bhagavad Gita we can dive deep. Now next verse. So okay, this is the another meaning, but actually Duryodhana was saying that these people they are nothing in front of you. We have Bhishma Pitama, we have Dronacharya, and he was confident of his victory on account of the presence of Bhishma, who was very superior. So he will come out as victorious. So he had full trust on these warriors that he was expressing. Why he was expressing this trust? Because he was knowing that Bhishma and Dronacharya they had soft corner in their heart. For whom? or Pandavas. So he was expressing that, okay, I am depending on you people. So you should fight hard, not that you will be like, you slack in your fighting. You should fight hard. That's why he was saying, I am full confident of my victory because I have you people. Bhishma and Dronacharya. Now Bhishma will think, अरे यार ये बंदा इतना डिपेंडेंट है मेरे पे तो फिर करना ही पड़ेगा अभी तो, है ना? Like that. This is all diplomacy. This is all politics. You will find that not normally in everyday life, but in corporates you will find it. Those who work in corporate companies. अयनेषु च सर्वेषु यथा भागम् अवस्थिता भीष्म मेवाभिरक्षन्तु भवन्तः सर्व एव हि. All of you must now give full support to Grandfather Bhishma as stand at your respective strategic points of entrance into the phalanx of the army. Now, Srila Prabhupada is explaining this text in his purport. Duryodhana, after praising the prowess of Bhishma, he praised his in the previous verse he praised my army is immeasurable because it is carefully protected by Bhishma. He thought that other people they may consider themselves as less important. कि यार मैं कुछ ज्यादा भीष्मा की तारीफ कर रहा हूँ, दूसरे सोचेंगे यार भीष्मा ही है क्या, हम लोग नहीं है क्या लड़ने के लिए, हमारे बारे में कुछ बोल ही नहीं रहा. तो फिर वो क्या बोला उसने, ये श्लोक बोला. नेक्स्ट क्या क्या श्लोक बोला कि देखो ये डिप्लोमेटिक माइंड था उसका, किसका, दुर्योधन का. सिचुएशन को कैसे वर्ड्स के साथ मैनिपुलेट करना है उसने तुरंत अंदाजा लगा लिया. एट दैट मोमेंट ओनली ही रियलाइज कि बॉस दूसरे लोग पीपल दे माइट बी फीलिंग नेग्लेक्टेड और लेफ्ट आउट. सो इमीडिएटली ही सेड कि बाकी लोग भी अयनेषु च सर्वेषु, बाकी आप लोग भी प्लीज सपोर्ट करना, बाकी आप लोग भी सपोर्ट करना. So he said, okay, he is a Bhishma Dev is great, but actually what he was implying is he is an old man. Now you should also support him. You give him protection from all the sides. So this is Duryodhana for you. The next verse. Tasya Sanjaya Jan Harsham Kuru Vradha Pitamaha Singanadam Vinadyoche Shankham Dadmo Pratapavan. So now the study that we are doing of Bhagavad Gita is not a regular class in which we discuss philosophy and generally applicable points in our life, how we can apply. Now we are actually studying like the study that we used to do in our schools. Textbook is there and we are studying from textbook. So like that. So it may get little boring in between, but you have to maintain your own enthusiasm. For that, you only are responsible. I will do my duty of teaching this Bhagavad Gita. In general classes, we discuss philosophy, which is normally applicable. That's why we are excited. What is there for me? Okay, what I can apply. But here, we will read Bhagavad Gita as a student, and what is to be applied, that we will see later. But now we are understanding the text, what the text is trying to say. Application point that we will see. Tasya Sanjayana Harsham Kuru Vradha Pitamaha Singanadam Vinagyoche Shankam Dadmo Pratapavan. कौन रीड करेगा इसका ट्रांसलेशन? यस सुमित.
Then Bhishma, the the great valiant grandson of the Kuru dynasty, the grandfather of the fighters, blew his conch shell very loudly, making a sound like the roar of a lion, giving Duryodhan joy.
तो इतना दुर्योधन ने तारीफ किया कि हमारे तरफ भीष्म पितामह है, ये है वो है. भीष्म पितामह ने क्या रिप्लाई किया, क्या लिखा है इस ट्रांसलेशन में? What did he do? He blew his conch shell. He did not say any word, which meant कि भाई तू कितनी भी बड़ी बड़ी बातें बोल ले, तू हारने वाला है. तो भीष्म पितामह ने बस अपना शंख बजा दिया. That means, bro, whatever you are saying, I will not say anything. You are anyway about to lose. So he did not say anything. I will do my duty. Vishnu Pitame was blowing conch shell, but he was trying to say, I will do my duty. I will lay down my life for your sake, but that does not guarantee your victory. So the conch shell, actually, the conch shell is actually a symbol of Vishnu. विष्णु के हाथ में रहता है ना शंख चक्र गदा पद्म तो कौशल is a symbol of Vishnu. So Vishnu was trying to imply that actually in the opposite team there is Vishnu. So there is no chance of your victory. He is already present on the opposite side. So this is the meaning of this verse. Okay. Now that's number 30. Tata shankascha vejascha padvana gomukha sa vapya hanyanta sa shabdas tumulo bhavat. And after that, the conch shell, drums, bugles, trumpets, and horns were all suddenly sounded, and the combined sound was tumultuous. Nothing to say about this. So, अभी जो फर्स्ट चैप्टर है इसमें सीन सेट हुआ है फिलोसफी में जब हम लोग घुसेंगे तो आप लोग अलग ही लेवल पे पहुंच जाओगे अनंत अनंत विजयम राजा कुंती पुत्रो युधिष्ठिर नकुला सहदेवश्च सुघोषा मणिपुष्पको actually you guys can read first someone can volunteer those who are present here don't do that don't do it. Huh? 16
King Yudhishthira, the son of Kunti.
no the Sanskrit
Anta Vijayam Raja Kunti Yudhishthira Nakula Sahadevascha Sugosamani Puspakam Tasyascha Parameswa Asa Sukandicha Maharata Vishtat Yumno Vinatascha Satyakis Paramita Rupano Draupadescha Sarvasa Prithvipate Saubhadrascha Mahabahu Sankan Dat Mu Pritap
no, someone can read the translation yes okay
King Yudhishthira,
loudly
King Yudhishthira, the son of Kunti, blew his couch shell, the Ananta Vijaya, and Nakul and Sahadeva blew the Sughosh and Mani-Pushpaka. That great Arthur, the king of Kashi, the great fighter Shikundi, Drishtadhyum, Virat, the unconquerable Satyaki, Drupal, and the sons of Draupadi and others, O king, such as the mighty armed son of Subhadra, all blew their respective conch shells.
okay one mistake we did was we skipped 2 verses I'm sorry for that it was my fault okay I will read them so this 14th verse it is said in somewhere that if you simply meditate on this 14th verse now the whole Bhagavad Gita can be realized in your heart automatically. If you daily meditate on this one, automatically the whole knowledge will come inside you. What is that verse? Online, anyone would like to volunteer? Someone? Nobody? Okay. Offline devotees. Okay. Sanskrit?
ततस्वैतिर अययुक्ते महातिसंदनिस्थितौ माधव पांडवास्त्रैव दिव्यो संतो प्रदद्मता.
Translation.
On the other side, both Lord Krishna and Arjuna, stationed on a great chariot drawn by white horses, sounded their transcendental consciousness.
Yes. एक बार प्रभुपाद जी लेक्चर दे रहे थे कहीं पे एंड वन पर्सन स्टूड एंड चैलेंज प्रभुपाद जी प्रभुपाद I can recite the whole Bhagavad Gita in 48 minutes. Completely, direct, 48 minutes. I can recite the Bhagavad Gita. Everybody started looking at it. And what will Prabhupada say to this? And Prabhupada said, can you live Bhagavad Gita for 48 minutes? And everybody was like, Jai Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada. So Bhagavad Gita is not a matter of mugging things. Bhagavad Gita is a matter of living. So that's why we have to understand that for living the life, Bhagavad Gita's knowledge is very important for us. Very important. And for preaching also. Now, next verse. We will read. 15th. 15th. Already we have read 16 to 18, but 15th verse. Okay.
पंचगम्य ऋषिकेशो देवदत्तं धनञ्जयो पौन्द्रं दद्मो महाशंख भीमकर्णा रत्नोदरा. Lord Krishna blew his conch shell called Panchajanya. Arjuna blew his the Devadatta, and Bhishma the voracious eater and performer of Herculean task, blew his terrific conch shell called Kanana.
So, सबने अपने शंख बजाए तो here Srila Prabhupada mentions like how Arjuna's position was unique. Although everybody was blowing the conch shell and all were devotees, but his position was unique. Why? Because the Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he had agreed to become his charioteer, Krishna. And his chariot was donated by him. Who gave him chariot? Agni, the fire god, donated the chariot. And Chitrarath was the chief of all Gandharvas. So Chitrarath gave him beautiful white horses on the chariot. And Indra, father of Arjuna, gave him conch shell and one quiver. होता ना क्या बोलते हैं quiver, चाबुक मारने के लिए. That was given by quiver is that only ना Quiver. It's where you keep the arrows. That is it. So that's how Arjuna's position is unique. Now 16 to 18 we have already read how Yudhishthira and all other people they blew their conch shells. And then we will read 19. But before that, I would like to ask, is there any question or something you want to share or comment? Something you want to ask? So now, before we move on to the next verses, I will just draw a flow how there are chapters arranged in Bhagavad Gita. So 1 to 6 chapter. So Bhagavad Gita is like a, what do we call it? Like a box. Like a box. And that box has a jewel inside it. And it has two lids, upper lid and lower lid. So the upper lid is first to 6 chapters. It is Karma Yuga. Then the jewel, that is 7th to 12th chapter. And then the later last 6 chapters is the lower lid from 13 to 18 chapters. So this is the flow of Bhagavad Gita. Now from 1st to 6th chapters we will be reading about Karma Yuga. What is Karma Yuga? Then Bhakti Yoga is there, that jewel. And then the last 6 verses is Jnana Yoga. So this is the flow. This is the overall flow of Bhagavad Gita. Then within 6 chapters also there is a particular flow. Then within every chapter there is flow of dialogues. How these dialogues are working. Because sometimes we read Bhagavad Gita and we kind of space out. ये बातचीत हो क्या रहा है? Conversation इसके बाद में ये क्या चल रहा है? Then we say यार तो Bhagavad Gita को समझ में नहीं आ रहा. क्यों? क्योंकि हम लोगों को टेक्निकली हर चीज को समझने की आदत है बचपन से. So that technical study we will be going to do like this. And it is very necessary, very important. हम लोग भगवत गीता नहीं पढ़ेंगे तो कौन पढ़ेगा? हम लोग कितना डीप स्टडी करते हैं कैलकुलस का, डिफरेंशिएशन का, कोडिंग का, डेटा स्ट्रक्चर का, मार्केटिंग स्ट्रेटजीज का. अगर उतना डीप स्टडी हम लोग भगवत गीता का करेंगे तो लाइफ सही हो जाएगा, सब सॉर्टेड हो जाएगा. वही डीप स्टडी हम लोग करेंगे. What I need is from my side only a requisite for the course is that I need just one sincere student, one person who is there sincerely very. Yes, you have any question?
Krishna Louis was when it became transcendent. When Deva, British man and British person is like a lion. What is different? It becomes transcendental when Arjuna and Krishna.
You are referring to which verse? Okay. This is like the army of Kauravas. Yes. So their conscience they are mentioned as transcendental conscience. And you are saying Bhishma's conscience is like roar of a lion. Yes. Now what is your problem? How?
He is also British person.
Um,
Krishna also. Krishna Prabhupada is a transcendent.
they're transcendental because Krishna and his paraphernalia, everything is transcendental. Krishna, anything related to Krishna is transcendental. This mic, it is used for Krishna's service and broadcasting message of Krishna. It is also transcendental. This temple, although it is made up of normal marble material, marble is there. पड़ा रहता है वो तो पहाड़ों में. Now this temple is also transcendental because it is acting as home for Krishna. Prashadam, which is offered to as bhoga to Krishna, is also transcendental. This Bhagavad Gita, which is describing the words of Krishna, it is also transcendental. Everything, anything related to Krishna is transcendental. Okay? Like, other question? What is the qualification for understanding Bhagavad Gita? That is also to be discussed. Not everybody can speak Bhagavad Gita. Sorry, understand Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita is easily available in the market. Why don't anyone and everyone can understand Bhagavad Gita? What is the qualification? There is a qualification required for understanding Bhagavad Gita. What is that qualification? Huh? Understanding the shloka, there are big pundits of Sanskrit. They are reading Bhagavad Gita for 40 years. They have not understood Bhagavad Gita. Not having the guidance of spiritual master. Okay. Anything from Bhagavad Gita? How to read it also is given here. Who can understand it? We should have mercy of the devotees. Okay.
By putting ourselves in the place of Arjuna.
By putting ourselves in the place of Arjuna. Very scary place. Right there, our grandfather is there. Anyone else? How we can understand Bhagavad Gita? Who can understand Bhagavad Gita? What is the qualification for understanding Bhagavad Gita? Bhagavad Gita is said as Raj Vidya, Raj Guhyam. Pavitram Nidam Uttamam. Raj Vidya, this is king of all knowledge. Raj Guhyam, it is most secret knowledge. Pavitram, it is most purifying substance in the whole three world. This Bhagavad Gita, simple book, very ordinary looking book, huh? Such a ordinary, but it can purify. It is the most purifying agent in the whole world. Who can understand it? Bhakto si ne sakha cheti, Ransham ye tadamuttam. This secret knowledge, Arjuna, I am giving to you. Why? Because you are my devotee. Because you are my friend and devotee. So a person who is a devotee of Krishna, he can understand Bhagavad Gita very nicely. He can understand Bhagavad Gita. A person who does not consider Krishna as God, how he can understand Bhagavad Gita? A person who is not favorably disposed towards Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna, how he can understand Bhagavad Gita? There are many marketing experts. They try to read Bhagavad Gita. What they get from Bhagavad Gita? Nothing. They say Bhagavad Gita बहुत अच्छा marketing का book है. That's it. भगवान marketing सिखाने आए थे spiritual world से material world. वो तो आजकल के थर्ड क्लास में MBA कॉलेज में भी सिखा देते हैं मार्केटिंग तो. भगवत गीता जो है वो कैसे गर्लफ्रेंड बॉयफ्रेंड का रिश्ता अच्छा रह सकता है वो बहुत अच्छे से सिखाती है. कृष्णा ये सिखाने आए थे अर्जुन को. 64 करोड़ योद्धा उधर मर गए भगवत गीता सुनते सुनते. ये चीज सिखाने के लिए. This is the conclusion of people who are not devotees of Krishna and they try to approach Bhagavad Gita. This is the conclusion at which they reach. The Bhagavad Gita तो ये है. भगवत गीता सुन के हम लोग युद्ध करने का स्ट्रेटेजी बनाएंगे नहीं. भगवत गीता ये सब पढ़ने ओके ठीक है ये चीज भी सीख सकते हैं लेकिन भगवत गीता जो सिखाने के लिए आया जो रियल पर्पस है भगवत गीता का वो है सरेंडर इनटू मी. सर्वधर्मान् परित्यज्य मामेकं शरणं व्रज अहं त्वं सर्व पापेभ्यो मोक्षयिष्यामि मा शुचः. Ultimately, we have to come to the conclusion of surrendering unto Krishna. That is the purpose of Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita's purpose is not to teach us business lessons, this and that. Bhagavad Gita, okay, that also you can learn, but main purpose is to surrender unto Krishna. Srila Prabhupada says in the introduction of Bhagavad Gita, who can read Bhagavad Gita? Who has a relationship with Krishna? The devotee can read Bhagavad Gita, can understand Bhagavad Gita. Okay, what if we are not a devotee? What if we don't have a relationship with Krishna? Then you will develop relationship with Krishna by reading Bhagavad Gita. So it's like this. So Bhagavad Gita is Raj Guhyam. It is the most secret knowledge. Not everybody. But has to be Bhaktya Tvananya Shakya Ayame Govindas Arjuna. Gyatum Drashtum Cha Tatvena Praveshtum Cha Parantapa. Only a devotee can enter into the mysteries of Krishna's existence. This is Bhagavad Gita. Not everybody can understand. Many people think that Krishna, oh, who is Krishna? He is just a coward man, coward boy. Oh, who is Krishna? अरे यार वो तो लड़कियों के पीछे भागता है बहुत सारे ग्रुप में है ना. Who is Krishna? युद्ध करवाया उसने. But who is actually Krishna? That only devotee can understand. A devotee of Krishna can understand. So Srila Prabhupada mentions in the introduction of this Bhagavad Gita, okay, if you do not consider as Krishna as Supreme Personality of Godhead, but still, before reading this Bhagavad Gita, theoretically at least you should accept Krishna as Supreme Person. Theoretically, कि मान लिया चलो कृष्णा भगवान है, अब आगे पढ़ना चालू करता हूँ. Theoretically at least आपको accept करना पड़ेगा. Then you can understand Bhagavad Gita. Otherwise, कई लोग भगवत गीता पढ़ लेते हैं. The conclusion they reach at the end of Bhagavad Gita is, पूछो उनसे भगवत गीता पढ़ लिया? हाँ पढ़ लिया. कौन है भगवान? भगवान गीता तो पढ़ा था. भगवान तो साईं बाबा. कौन कौन भगवान? पता नहीं भगवान कौन. भगवत गीता गीता पढ़ लिया भगवान को। मेरे को एक आदमी मिला, हम लोग बुक डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन कर रहे थे भगवद गीता, महाराष्ट्र के कौन सी जगह थी, चौकटा करके जगह थी, आई डोंट रिमेम्बर द एग्जैक्ट प्लेस। सो आई हैड डिस्कशन विद हिम। So actually every time any bus used to come to his place, he used to go for having discussions with the devotees. That's what he told me. So after discussing and arguing, sort of arguing also, not heavily, but sort of he was presenting his arguments. After 10 minutes, he got little very grave. And he was like, Abhi to matlab, he was almost on the verge of crying. And he was very grave. And he said, मेरे को ना 25 साल हो गया भगवद गीता पढ़ते हुए, मुझे कुछ समझ में नहीं आया। मैं देखता हूँ कि तुम इस्कॉन वाले 25 साल के लड़के आते हो इधर और इतना ज्ञान मेरे को सुना के चले जाते हो, और मैं 25 साल से भगवद गीता पढ़ रहा हूँ, मुझे इतना नहीं आता, तुम लोगों को इतना कैसे आ गया, तुम लोगों को इतना भगवद गीता कैसे समझ में आया? So the only credit is Srila Prabhupada has presented the essence of Bhagavad Gita in its every purport, every page. Essence. ये तो लोग भगवद गीता पढ़ लेते हैं बहुत सारे। कौन सी भगवद गीता पढ़ रहे हो? श्री 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 1008 श्री ये अखंडानंद महाराज की भगवद गीता एक में पढ़ रहा हूँ। क्या समझ में आया? कुछ नहीं समझ में आया। हम एक ज्योति हैं, हम एक लाइट हैं। भगवान कौन है? भगवान कौन है? भगवान तो निराकार है, निर्विशेष है। ये कंक्लूजन पे लोग पहुंच रहे हैं। गलत कंक्लूजन पे पहुंच सकते हैं हम लोग, जब तक हम लोग ये एक्सेप्ट नहीं करेंगे that Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. So that is the purpose for which Bhagavad Gita is spoken. So अभी 1 से 27 तक के वर्ष में दुर्योधन का और ये सब चलेगा। 27वें वर्ष के बाद में जब कृष्णा बोलेंगे, that will become nectar. So we are waiting for that, but we have to go till 27th verse. So quickly we will go to 27th till 27th verse. Who will read 19th verse? Now you have to be actively participating in this. Yes, Sanskrit, loud.
Also, Tanam, Pridayani, Vyadharaya, Navascha, Prithvi, Cheva, Tumulo, Yanu, Abhyanu, the glowing of these different councils became glorious, vibrating both in the sky and on the earth. It shattered the hearts of the sons of Dhritarashtra.
Yes. Okay. Clear? Anyone else? Online? This was slow. ठीक है, ऑफलाइन तो पढ़ना चाहिएगा। पढ़िए।
Akhobhya
दृष्टवा, इस संस्कृत वर्ड में इसलिए पढ़वा रहा हूँ आप लोगों को, ताकि आपका इंटेलिजेंस शार्प हो। धार्तराष्ट्रान पांडव
ऋषिकेशं तदा वाक्यं एतमा वादिपते.
ट्रांसलेशन।
At that time, Arjuna the son of Pandu, seated in the chariot, bearing the black mark with Hanuman, took up his bow and prepared to shoot his arrows. O king, after looking at the sons of Dhritarashtra drawn in unity array, Arjuna then spoke to Lord Krishna these words.
तो एक्चुअली द होल एटमॉस्फेयर वाज सरचार्ज्ड। अभी आप समझ रहे हो हम लोग कितना भयंकर बात कर रहे हैं, बहुत खतरनाक इसमें स्थिति में पहुंच गए हम लोग। एक युद्ध है जिसके अंदर 64 करोड़ लोग पार्टिसिपेट कर रहे हैं. They are best of the Kshatriyas, warriors, and they are about to die. इतनी खतरनाक बात है. अभी अगर मान लो आपको न्यूज आया कि हमारे बॉर्डर पे 500 लोग मर गए, पूरा देश में तबाही मच जाएगी. 500 लोग मर गए, इधर 64 करोड़ लोग मरेंगे. आगे जाए 64 करोड़. Greatest battle and very powerful Kshatriyas they gathered to fight and they were all filled with the fighting spirit. लड़ना है. कोई भी उनमें से ऐसा नहीं था तो यार मेरे को जबरदस्ती भेज दिया, गलत किया मैंने आर्मी ज्वाइन करके, पापा ने ज्वाइन करा दिया था मुझे बचपन में. ऐसा नहीं था. मैं तो ये सोचा था कि आर्मी में ज्वाइन करूंगा तो उधर सस्ते में चीजें मिल जाएगी आर्मी की. ऐसे भी लोग नहीं थे उसमें. अरे मुझे तो मेरे पत्नी ने बोला कि मुझे आईफोन चाहिए, मुझे लगा आर्मी की कैंटीन से सस्ते में मिल जाएगा. ऐसे भी लोग नहीं थे. ऐसे लोग होते हैं कई बार. आर्मी में और भी बहुत सारी चीजें मिलती है सस्ते में, अच्छे क्वालिटी में. तो वैसे लोग नहीं थे. दे वर जेन्युइनली देयर फॉर फाइटिंग. दे वर नॉट फोर्स्ड. इट वाज देयर इन देयर ब्लड टू फाइट. And the situation, this war is different from that war Srila Prabhupada describes it, the war that happened in 1960s between US and Vietnam. So in that war, USA Army they were forcefully recruiting students for their army of USA. जबरदस्ती. मतलब चलो चलो लड़ना है, जबरदस्ती लड़ना है. एंड आपको लड़ना ही पड़ेगा. यू कैन नॉट से कि नहीं नहीं अंकल मेरे को डर लगता है. नहीं, लड़ना ही पड़ेगा. और उसको जबरदस्ती शिप में बैठा के या प्लेन में बैठा के वियतनाम भेज देते. ऐसा. तो वो सिचुएशन नहीं था. ये लोग जेन्युइनली क्षत्रियास थे, फाइटर्स थे. ये फाइटिंग वाज देयर इन देयर ब्लड. जैसे क्या होता है कि डिवोटीज क्या होता है, कार्तिक के महीने में गौर पूर्णिमा पे क्या होते हैं, सब लोग कार्तिक के महीने में कहा जाते हैं वृंदावन जाते हैं ना. फ्रॉम होल वर्ल्ड devotees go to Vrindavan. They gather in Vrindavan because it's in their blood. अरे वृंदावन जाना, गौर पूर्णिमा पे मायापुर जाना. वैसे ये क्षत्रियास के लिए फेस्टिवल था. अरे चलो लड़ने चलते हैं कुरुक्षेत्र. It is like that for them. So they were very happy to fight. And they had faith that if we die on the battlefield, then we will get heavenly planets. ऐसे जो बैटल होते हैं ना, ये बहुत मुश्किल से अपॉर्चुनिटीज मिलता है ऐसे बैटल लड़ने का. क्योंकि ऐसे बैटल में फायदा ही फायदा है. क्या फायदा है? जीत गए तो राज्य मिलेगा और मर गए तो स्वर्ग मिलेगा. दोनों तरफ से फायदा है. आप लोगों में से कोई जानना चाहेगा? लेट्स गो. प्रभु नींद आ रही है. ऐसा नहीं. So the two armies they were in formation, conch shells flew, and the hair of warriors were standing on their end in anticipation, and Krishna was with Arjuna on his chariot, and Hanuman was decorating the chariot's flag. He was ready to shout his war cries to help Bhima terrify the enemy. So actually war में ऐसा हो रहा था, भीम जो है वो बहुत जोर जोर से चिल्ला रहा था. और हो ये रहा था कि उसके साथ साथ हनुमान जो थे फ्लैग पे, he was also roaring. So उन दोनों का जो रोर था वो मिलके आ रहा था युद्ध के मैदान पे. एवरीबॉडी अपोजिट आर्मी वाले भी और खुद के आर्मी वाले भी, एवरीबॉडी वाज टेरिफाइड बाय भीमा's रोर. भाई ये क्या हो गया इसको. कभी कभी भीमा ऐसे हाथ पैर चलाता था सामने वाले को मारने के लिए, एक दो अपने भी सलट जाते थे. ऐसा होता था. बहुत खतरनाक सिचुएशन था उसमें. एंड इसमें बताया इस वाले श्लोक में कि कैसे हनुमान जी जो थे वो उसके फ्लैग पे थे. तो हनुमान जी और भीम, एक बार क्या हुआ, इसके पीछे क्या स्टोरी है. एक बार पांडवास जो थे वो बद्री का आश्रम के आसपास विचरण कर रहे थे. दे वर रोमिंग देयर एंड देयर इज अ रिवर कॉल्ड एज अलकनंदा, and that carried a beautiful flower, beautiful fragrant lotus, thousand lotus petal flower, thousand petaled lotus flower. It was carrying Alaknanda river. And Draupadi picked up and the fragrance was very good. So Draupadi said, I want to make a garland for Yudhishthir Maharaj. I will offer it to Yudhishthir Maharaj. Can you bring some more of these? So Bhima was like, ठीक है, बुरा बात मचाना तो अपने तुम में चलते हैं. अब भीमा ऊपर गए. अब भीम ऊपर गए उसके बाद में ही ऊपर ऊपर जाते 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 गंधर्व लोक में पहुंच गए. अब गंधर्व लोक में पहुंच गए तो किसी ने उनको चैलेंज किया है, कहाँ जा रहे हो तुम? ये हमारा देश है और यहाँ पे आपको फूल चाहिए तो पहले आपको परमिशन लेना पड़ेगा कुबेर से. Then you will get these flowers. अब क्या होता है ना, क्षत्रिय जो होते हैं ना, क्षत्रिय कभी किसी से परमिशन नहीं लेते. तो परमिशन किससे परमिशन लेना है? भीम ने अपना गदा निकाला, बोलता है अभी बताता हूँ. भीम ने सबको उधर डिफीट किया and he uprooted trees and everybody like ran away from that place. And while coming, actually he saw a monkey and the monkey was lying. And the monkey said, why are you making so much noise? So Bhim said, hey Vanar, अपनी पूंछ उठा ले, मेरा रास्ता मत दो. तो monkey said, अब क्या है कि मैं तो बुजुर्ग monkey हूँ, मैं कहाँ वैसे हिला नहीं जाता, एक काम कर तू ही हटा दे. भीम ने कहा अच्छा गुस्ताखी. भीम ने अपना हाथ उठाया, अपनी पूंछ, उसकी पूंछ पकड़ने के लिए हाथ बढ़ाया और उठाने के लिए जैसे जोर लगाया, उसकी पूंछ उठ ही नहीं रही है. भीम के अंदर 10,000 हाथियों की शक्ति और उस छोटे से वानर की पूंछ नहीं उठ रही उससे. बाद में भीम गुस्सा आ गया और उसने फिर और दम लगाया, लेकिन अल्टीमेटली भीम फेल हो गए. तो फिर बाद में उसने इंक्वायर किया आप कौन है. फिर वो मंकी ने अपना रूप दिखाया, मैं एक्चुअली हनुमान हूँ. और मैं हनुमान जी और जो भीम थे वो दोनों पवन पवन देव के बेटे हैं. तो हनुमान जी ने उसको गले लगाया और बोला कि जब तुम्हारी लड़ाई होगी महाभारत की, आई विल कम देयर टू असिस्ट यू, टू हेल्प यू. और आई विल ब्लेसिंग दिया उनको और बोला कि जब लड़ेंगे तो मैं आई विल बी देयर ऑन द फ्लैग ऑफ अर्जुन एंड आई विल रोर विद यू. माय वॉइस विल unite with your voice and it will create terror in the hearts of enemies, like that, and you will be victorious. So now Arjuna's chariot is drawn by Hanuman. Hanuman is there on the flag and Arjuna picked up his bow and horses and elephant, they were also excited, not just the warriors. And the opening arrows of the long-awaited battle, they were about to be released by Arjuna. And just before that thing was about to happen, Arjuna spoke the following words. The following words, what were those following words? So, okay, we will read those words, then next time we will move on to other verses. So you can repeat after me. I will read this. Arjuna Uvacha Senayor Uvayor Madhye Ratham Sthapaya Mehachuta Yavadeta Niriksheham Yodukama Navastitan Kermaya Sayodavyam Asmin Ran Samudyame. Arjuna said, O infallible one, please draw my chariot between the two armies so that I may see those present here who desire to fight and with whom I must contend in this great trial of arms. So now in the whole Bhagavad Gita, this is the first time when Krishna's entry is there. Krishna's entry for the first time. Krishna is first appearance in Bhagavad Gita. And what is he doing? What is he doing, Krishna? What is he doing here? He's, yes, he's driving the chariot and he's accepting the orders. ड्राइवर को कैसे बोलते हैं ड्राइवर उधर ले लो भगवान सुप्रीम पर्सनालिटी ऑफ गॉड एंड ही इज ड्राइविंग द चैरियट इस पे हम लोगों को इस चीज पे विचार करना चाहिए हम लोग बहुत हल्के में ले लेते हैं वन ब्राह्मण वाज देयर इन साउथ इंडिया एंड व्हेन श्री चैतन्य महाप्रभु visited that South Indian temple Srirangam temple he saw a brahmana he was Bhagavad Gita was there in front of him and he was crying. And everybody used to make fun of that Brahmana because that Brahmana was illiterate and he was crying. So everybody used to make fun of him. कि यार पढ़ना तो आता नहीं है, why he is crying? Then when Lord Chaitanya saw him, he went to him and he asked him, why are you crying? Then that Brahmana said, कि I am just crying that although Krishna is supreme personality of Godhead, but he is driving the chariot of his devotee. That is what making me cry. See, the information is same which is entering into our ear, and that was with Brahmana. But we, because our heart is of stone, nothing is happening. And that Brahmana was crying because of this information, and not just once, again and again. So like this. So Krishna this is the glorious Krishna, supreme controller. He is the supreme controller, he is controlling everyone, but now he is accepting orders from his devotee, as if he is a menial servant. Now Srila Prabhupada's purport. So we will just read this verse and we will conclude after this verse. Time is also. So Srila Prabhupada writes in his purport, although Lord Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead, out of his causeless mercy, he was engaged with the service of his friend. He never fails in his affection for his devotees. And thus his address therein is infallible. कृष्णा के लिए कौन सा वर्ड यूज हुआ है इधर संस्कृत वर्ड which word achyuta achyuta means infallible infallible means one who never fails to reciprocate with his devotees one who never fails to protect his devotees that is achyuta हमारे संसार में जितनी भी चीजें हमारे प्रोटेक्शन के लिए आर्मी है हमने घर में भी सीसीटीवी लगाया हुआ है किसी ने पुलिस फोर्स है घर में कई लोगों ने कुत्ता भी रखा हुआ है वो सब फेल हो सकता है और होता भी है देखते भी हम लोग फेल होता है ना आर्मी भी फेल हो सकती है पुलिस भी फेल हो सकती है हमारा खुद का डिफेंस सिस्टम भी फेल हो सकता है बट कृष्णा कभी भी फेल नहीं होते अपने डिवोटीज को प्रोटेक्ट करने के लिए दैट्स व्हाई ही इज कॉल्ड एज infallible the relationship between the lord and his servant is very sweet and transcendental the servitor is always ready to render service to the lord and similarly the lord is always seeking an opportunity to render some service to the devotee कैसा रिलेशनशिप है इसमें दोनों ढूंढ रहे हैं कि मैं कुछ सेवा करूं सामने वाला बोल रहा है मैं कुछ सेवा करूं भक्त और भगवान दोनों एक दूसरे की सेवा करना चाहते हैं I wish I could do anything for my Lord. The Lord is thinking, I wish I could do anything for my devotee. This is the kind of relationship that these two individuals have with each other. Devotee and Lord. Devotee is always thinking in anxiety, how can I serve Krishna? And Krishna is always in anxiety, how can I serve my devotee? In this world, nobody wants to be a servant. Everybody wants to be a Lord, enjoyer. I want to Lord. But Krishna himself wants to serve. Krishna himself wants to serve. Arjuna's request means that he is already indecisive about taking part in the battle. So now Arjuna has asked Krishna to take his chariot among to see who is there, who is not. So that means Arjuna is already थोड़ा बहुत उसका नाम हिलने लग गया कि लड़ूं या ना लड़ूं क्लास जाऊं या ना जाऊं Arjuna's body is shaking. महाराज जब करूँ या ना करूँ, देखता हूँ प्रभु जी, आज नहीं करूँगा तो चलेगा क्या? मैसेज ड्रॉप करके देख लेता हूँ। कल तो किया था ना यार पूरा, डेली तो करेगा हूँ, आज नहीं करूँगा तो चलेगा। ऑलरेडी बोर्ड शेक करने लग गया। That's why he said. So of all the Krishna's qualities, Bhakta Vatsal qualities, most कृष्णा के सारे बहुत सारे गुण हैं। अद्वैतम अच्युतम अनादिम अनंत रूपम, सर्व गुण संपन्न है भगवान। ऐश्वर्यस्य समग्रस्य वीर्यस्य यशस्य श्रियः, ज्ञानम हर चीज में फुल है। लेकिन सबसे जो क्वालिटी जो सबसे ऊपर है, कौन सी क्वालिटी है? भक्त वत्सल। He loves his devotees. तो ऐसे आदमी का डिवोटी बनने में तो मजा है ना बॉस। ऐसे भगवान है हमारे जो अपने भक्तों से कितना प्यार करते हैं, तो क्या दिक्कत है इसमें? भक्त फिर उनकी भक्ति करने में क्यों रिजर्वेशन है? फिर क्यों हम लोग थोड़ा लगते हैं कि नहीं प्रभु इतना भी नहीं, अभी ज्यादा भक्ति हो गया थोड़ा सा, लास्ट महीने कुछ ज्यादा भक्ति करा दिया आपने, मुझे ट्रिप भी लेके गए थे, अब नहीं प्रभु जी। आपने देखो 2 माला करना चालू किया था, अभी 4 कर दिया, अभी प्रभु क्यों इतना हमने अपने हार्ट को संकुचित रखा हुआ है? प्रभु ज्यादा सरेंडर नहीं हो। पढ़ तो लिया था 2 पेज पिछले हफ्ते, अभी नहीं। प्रभु पिछली बार मैंने स्मॉल बुक लिया था, अब आप ये भगवत गीता क्यों दे रहे हो? नहीं, you should be open hearted. Yes, fully trust. He is the only trustworthy person. Fully trust Krishna. Yes, he will say he is my best friend. There is no loss in becoming Krishna's devotee. There is no loss, and there is unlimited gain in becoming Krishna's devotee. And that we will see in Bhagavad Gita. How Duryodhana, so diplomatic, so cunning, best of the people in his army. Number wise also his army was very much. In every sense, Duryodhana should win, but because Krishna was there on the side of Arjuna, that's what affected the whole result of the battle. Krishna should be on our side. Nothing else matters. And if Krishna is not on our side, even if we have best of the things, best of the people, it's a failure. So like that. And in text 20, Arjuna picked up his bow, ready to fight. It is mentioned that in the text 20, Arjuna picked up his bow. This is text previous to this. When both armies were waiting, Arjuna had previously vowed. Arjuna took a vow actually, कि anyone who will suggest me to keep my bow aside, to leave my bow, I will kill him. Now in text 21 and 22, Arjuna suddenly says that, "O infallible one, please draw my chariot between the 2 armies so that I may see those present there, here who desire to fight and with whom I must contend in this great battle." So Arjuna's request means that he is already indecisive. तो खुद पहले बोला था कि वो जिसने नीचे रखवा दिया वो उसको मैं मार दूंगा, अभी वो उठा लिया, उसके बाद बोल रहे हैं मैं देख तो लूं कौन आया है कौन नहीं है। So this is for today's discussion on Bhagavad Gita. Maybe later on, if we get chance, we will discuss further. Whenever we get chance, further sources, you be there. बने रहिए हमारे साथ, जुड़े रहिए। आपसे मिलेंगे हम लोग नेक्स्ट एपिसोड में, और उसमें हम पढ़ेंगे वर्स 23 onwards. Hare Krishna. Any question or comment or doubt?
We skipped verse 16 to 18.
16 to 18 we skipped. Actually, we read it already. We earlier skipped 14th and 15th verse, and somebody read 16th verse. So that's why we went backwards, and then while coming forward from them. So, and you should all read Bhagavad Gita now. Start from first chapter. So we all are on the same page. Then you will understand nicely. Okay. What I can tell you is, when you will get these classes and you will participate nicely, your understanding of Bhagavad Gita will become deeper and deeper and deeper, like it has never been before. So you read Bhagavad Gita, come to these classes, then you will learn Bhagavad Gita. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai. Srila Prabhupada